Hello and welcome back to Space Engineers. My name is Rabenschild. It is school holiday time, so I hopefully have enough time to record and all this stuff. It's amazing to have some days off. That's a great thing. So, I have some things to do today. One thing I have to test is, and it's out for a longer time now, but I haven't tested it until now. That is Dummy 08's new mod that is out. It is the drill and fill system. That kind of sounds dirty, but we will test that thing. So with this thing you can fill things in, so voxels in. I don't want to do that right now, but I want to see how the drill mechanics are, if it's possible to ignore certain certain things, and if it's possible to maybe just mine out cobalt, leave the rest, something like that. That would be a great thing to see. It is a mod. I don't know. I don't intend to use too much, because it's, I don't know, that thing is overpowered from what I saw. But the Dummy 08's mods sometimes just are. That's the thing. So this is basically something that, for example, the Nanite factory always did. The whole not always. It did at one point the whole mining aspect of the nanites, and this is basically a machine that is just extra for the mods of Dummy 08. So it kind of goes very well together with the built-in repair system. So what we have to do is, for one, we have to turn on the drill system. Okay, we will not turn it on. We will have to set it up. So drilling, that's enabled. So I hope that I can just say I don't want this to drill priority. So can I turn this on and off? I can just... No, I can't turn it on and off, or am I too dumb to do it? No. So we can set up the priority. So we can tell it to just mine cobalt before everything else. And I'm not sure how the priorities are set up, but this is definitely the drill priority, not the collect priority, because you can also set it up to collect things. That's relatively nice, because you could set these things up to just collect materials in the area, and then you can just say, I want just ores to be collected. But why can't I? Aha. Okay, that's how that works. Good. We can turn it on and off by just disable. I just want to see if it can drill out the cobalt and nothing else, because that is nice. I'm not a big fan of leaving holes everywhere, and so having maybe the ability to just dig out certain things could be a nice thing. And we will test it here, because that's the asteroid we are close to. We can set things that it needs to fill in. What it does, it says it needs stone to fill this in, and I'm pretty sure, for everything else you need stone or the material you want to replace it with. This is neat to have, to maybe fill in holes you don't want, but it does a whole area, and that's hard to control. So The filling thing, as far as I know, it just fills in, or it fills in around grids. So it wouldn't fill in a base. That's a neat thing. So you could go and say, I want to have, don't know, a stone shield around a base, and then you can just fill that in around the whole thing. Remote control by this is neat. As far as I saw it, you can have the area limited to an area where you are. It's a weird thing. Never tested that, or didn't test that yet. I might do that at one point, but that's something I don't see a use for right now. So we will see how that works out. So okay, I might bring that in a bit more, but let us just make a test how this thing works out. Let me grab the drill system and we just put a toggle here. Can we also just use it as a block tool? No, we can't. So let us see what it does. It's turned on. Aha, there it goes. So now we can just... Whoa, that's fast. And is it only... It should only drill out the cobalt. Maybe... I hope I have enough space in there too. Whoa, that's neat. One thing where I really see this thing work is if we want to tunnel something. That is neat. On Fundland, for example, I did that. I tunneled out with PAM script. But with this, we could, for example, use just a flyer and just fly in a straight line to tunnel out a certain area and have a neat square hole and don't have to go too crazy with scripts or anything. And here we could use that too. For example, if we want to work on the palace, we don't have to fly in with a big machine. What we could do is just use one of these and then just mark out the rooms, turn it on, and drill out the area of one of the rooms that we want to drill in. So this is really, really neat. I really like the idea of that. And again, the whole collect thing, I'm pretty sure just works like the collect mode of the built-in repair system. I think it just does the same. And the fill feature, I'm not too interested in right now. That could be something I want to test later. This might be a neat thing if you want to build something. What I didn't see now is if it just takes the cobalt. It seems that the cobalt is very, very deep here. So the main thing I wanted to see is, does it spare the stone? Let us see if... Oh, okay, we still have space in here, so that's good. That's so much cobalt. We don't really need that much, but I'm okay with that for a test. I will grab enough of this. Okay, come on. Let me see if it just works. Oh no. No, it takes everything. So it even takes the iron, but it might be that it doesn't pick up the iron? Nope. It picks up the iron. Good. Okay, then it is not very specific in what it does. So let us take the drill system. Or did I do something wrong? No. So I turned everything off except for the cobalt. So that doesn't change. Okay, we cannot be... We cannot tell it to just pick up one ore type. But that's okay. I will find a good a good way to work with that without hopefully destroying too much stuff or something like that. We'll have to see. But again, for buildings, for building into a mountain, for example, for the alien base or now for the palace, that will be really useful because this is easier to set up than everything else, I would say. Okay, let us turn off this. One thing it seems you can do with this, and I'm not sure how this would work, is that you basically can say, see here, that where you can control how you want to see the area. For example, you can say, I want this thing to only work when I have it set to me and only show me the area once I have a drill in my hand, or when it only works when I have a drill in my hand. That's a neat thing because then you can set it up, can work with it, take your drill, then it starts to work, put your drill away, work out the next numbers, and so yeah, so on and so forth. Is that the right thing to say? I don't know, but I will turn this off now. It's weird how I am not able to find immediate use for that right now. So again, I know I could use it for these things, but people would usually, I'm pretty sure, assume that I would jump onto this thing and say, man, that's the best. Never wanted something else, but again, I don't find immediate use for that. It's not that it is completely getting me right now. There's other things that I'm enjoying a lot more right now because I filled up the mod list a bit, and I brought in, for example, the modular thrusters. I want to see what we can do with them, and I also brought in the spotlights. That's a mod that I wanted to see because I have ships where I would like to have certain ways how spotlights work. And at the moment, you could do that with rotors, but it seems that there was some work done with scripts where now spotlights can be set at an angle or something like that. I don't understand it. There's a lot of magic going on in the scripting and API. Ooh. Yeah, exactly. See, now we have this wide beam of light that we can use. Can we set different different settings here? Spotlight, classic spotlight bar. Okay, it's just the same settings that spotlights would have. Rates per slot, for efficiency. None. I don't know. Everything's fine. There seems to be no real settings, so we cannot change the settings themselves. So, okay, that's a bit sad. But maybe it's just the bar that works that way. If we go with the normal spotlight here, for example, this is a 30-degree spotlight. So it kind of shines the light over there now. I'm not sure. Maybe this is able to change settings, but if it's not, again, that's completely okay for me. We can have lights very, very different now. No, we can't. Could be a problem with the mod. I'm not sure. But I like it. We will find uses for that, I'm pretty sure. Good. Okay, and again, the modular thrusters, some people that are longer with me, for example, might have used saw these or saw. I can't talk English today. Might have seen these already. There's basically you can build thrusters out of these blocks and then they look neat. And we brought them recently to Funland. Ramethab wanted to have them, and we kind of made the deals. You get modular thrusters, I get LY thrusters, and then we use this. I also brought in the compact drills and compact grinders. These are just modules that fit relatively neat to these openings here. So that's something I just wanted to see how that looks. It seems they are, oh yeah, they have the old the old style of conveyor ports on them, so they might not work at all, but maybe we find a good use for them over time. Again, it's just something that I wanted to see. Another thing that I found out is we have this weird issue with the projectors down on the surface for the ornithopter. And I read somewhere that projectors far away from the center of the world, and the center of the world is 0, 0, 0, and that should be somewhere around the Earth-like. Where could it? Somewhere there. Somewhere there, or there, or there. I don't know. That if you are far away from the center of the map, you might end up with problems in projections. Read that or read it today. So we are out here at 20,000 kilometers away from the center of the map. It could be that that is enough to throw off projections. So it could be that I'm running into that problem. The guy that wrote that said that this is still a bug in the game, or a problem with something, a problem in the numbers. Don't ask me how this works. It could be an explanation for why it shows up so weird. I don't know why it did that after we built it and after it worked. I don't know. Good. The thing is, we still have other planets to visit. We still have other planets to visit. We have other moons to visit, and that's something we should do too in the near future, just to get around. Because now that we have the harvester done and that the carry-all works, we should maybe go and visit other planets, other moons, just to see how they look and how they might affect our world here. I don't know, maybe sometime we should go back. There's so much work that we still can do back at the other planets again. It's weird. I don't know. There's so much work around the world that we should do and finish that I might want to do a short jump back and see what else we can do. I don't know. It's weird. The world gets so old with so many projects that still need fixing, that still need a lot of work. I don't know. I kind of feel bad about everything else that is just somewhere back now, far away from here. It's just that's again we talked about the ship on the alien planet that still needs work and don't know. Good, let me get down to the planet and then we take a look at the carryall. I worked a bit more on it. We need a few more things that we need to bring in. The thing is that I feel that with the amount of ice production that we have now, we need to address power things, and it's the color needs to change. I took a look again at the ice production, and we're so not producing enough, even with crazy changes in how hydrogen works. We will see. Good people. Let me go down. We'll be back in a sec. So if any of you wanted to hear if these vaporators are enough to run something that is just working with hydrogen, no. I would say it's not worth the effort. It's neat. So the idea is neat, for example, for these desert planets or something like that. I like this, but as means to provide thrust to a spaceship, I would not do that, because I'm running this now for a long time, and you can see that we don't fill up these tanks. It's just not possible. So we would need a lot more of them, and for that we would need more of these panels. So I really have to think how to do this. People suggested to add more of an engine cluster to make this whole thing a bit bigger, but with more engines we would need more ice, and one thing we don't have is ice, so hydrogen. We would have to bring that in from space, and for just a visual gag, I'm not sure if that's a good idea. We could replace that with atmospheric thrusters. They would look a bit more impressive, and they wouldn't they would just run on energy, so we wouldn't have to do all the stuff with the hydrogen. But on the other hand, I like this a lot more, kind of. So we will keep this for now, just fill up what we have there, and I don't know, think about a way how we can cheese this. What we could do, for example, is, I'm thinking about resetting the override or something like that. That this thing always has a flame going. Problem with that would be that then we would have to also counteract to keep the ship still balanced, to keep the ship still hover. that would be something we would have to think about. How to do this. Okay, good. Another thing we should think about is doing some stuff with colors. So we have, this is close to orange, and then I want to kind of work out a color for this ship. I thought about a brownish hue, so it could be something like that. Come on. Ooh. Have it in a in this. I wish there would be other. I kind of would like to have an even more worn version of the color on the normal textures. This looks worn already on the seams and all that stuff. This is basically a machine that does hard work and all these things, and it would be neat to just have it look even more worn out than it just does with this. How does it look from below? We have to bring it into the sun to kind of see. What the? Are these the planets? We will have to see. my neighbors, or now my neighbor, is doing crazy work at the moment. This poor guy. And he has some things going on in his life. Let's say it that way. And now he has to do again more work to work out his apartment. That always again doesn't make for good times to record, because there's just noise around. Okay, come on, go into the. Ooh, I like the hue. That's good. that's already nice. Kind of. It's not completely. It doesn't look completely crazy brown, let's say it that way. And it looks pretty neat. So we need to go to the harvester. The harvester is at the moment in the spice fields. Is harvesting materials for us. We should go there and turn it off. We need to close the roof, by the way. Turn it off. Maybe move it out a bit more even. I left it down here to harvest magnesium. I want to see if it found something else too. Okay, harvester. Yeah, this this needs a bit more turning power. Again, it needs to be slow, but on the other hand, it doesn't need to be aggravating, so that I get annoyed by it being so sluggish. Okay, harvester, did you finish your drill run? Yes, you did. Did you find anything interesting? This must be magnesium. And then anything else? Nothing else. Okay, we can bring up the drill and empty out the magnesium. And then we should have a lot more material, I hope. So let us get this done. And the drills can stay on. Okay, let us bring in the harvester, empty out the thing. Give me a sec. there was background noise, and one thing I don't like is background noise. Again, it's my thing. People might not even recognize it, but I don't know. I can't record when I have loud noises in the background that might show up, and then have it don't know, have it be uncertain if there is something. Okay. Now the camera. That's much better. Okay, go back. Go down. I might have to put it closer to what we are doing there, but on the other hand, this way I can see both connectors. What I can't see is the color change. I might have to add another camera that can take a look at the color change. Oh, okay. That pulled in really hard. Ready to go. And now we just move over. The basic refineries are working at the stone. Okay. And we can just go cargo and maybe just get the cargo containers off our main ship. Good. Yeah, a bit of gravel. We take this. Nickel. Magnesium. That was the thing I was coming for. Yeah, stone. We will take that back. And do this. And this. And this. Okay. Yeah, we also need to work on, yeah, a ship to refuel these things. Again, we talked about that, not a ship, a rover to refuel everything that I have around with fluid batteries, because why is the artificial horizon there? That's weird. I never saw that on the camera. Okay, bring that back. The size of this ship and the... Oh, it gets worse with cargo in it. Yeah, I need a few more gyroscopes. Maybe some I can turn off or something like that. That would be maybe a good compromise to just keep the sluggishness, but keep it up while it has crazy amounts of things in it, or while it is carrying the harvester. I also wanted to just keep that thing somewhere. At the moment, it's used as a cargo shuttle. I'm not sure if that's a good use for it. But that's okay-ish. Now the hydrogens have held up relatively well, or the whole flight, and I still seem to have hydrogen. Let's bring it back into position, and then I want to work then more on everything now. Now that I have a bit of time, I want to finish the statue. I want to go into the palace and work that out. The problem still is that I haven't found any maps of the palace in the Dune game. So that is still a problem. I would have to play it to get the maps kind of. Okay, ready to lock F. Now we can wait until it is empty. This needs to be closed, and I also want to, don't know, do some work just around it. Again, it looks too smooth. I also have to work on the interior to get rid of these lines, and it's still a lot of work that needs to be done. I had the idea to maybe do live streaming in the morning or something like that, to just go in and do some work around the ship that I don't want to show or something like that. Maybe we can do that. So, okay. The palace on the inside. I talked about that. That maybe having some of the drill and fill systems down here might be a good course of action to get some work done on the interior. I know that there was the main hall. Finishing this and the rooms behind that could be interesting first, and then go off of that. So main hall entrance, then there was a corridor with that. There was the ability to go off of that, then the main hall. Maybe we can drill towards that for now. So what we could do again is have the drill and fill of it. Okay, that's, ooh, there's an arrow on there that shows the ups, the front side. That's neat. Not a lot of mods do that. I can, and that's a good thing. I can also upset basically the point where it starts to drill. So we should be able to drill out that level and go up a bit more. So show the area. Show area. And then we just go area width. Just go for... We could make that very, very specific, the width. The area height will be, I don't know, 50. And the area depth will 30 for now. So, can take a look on the outside. So we have to bring that height a bit in. Left, right. Ooh, Dummy is really good at what he's doing. By telling us this, I don't have to guess anymore. That's a cool thing. Okay, let us bring down the area depth to 15 meters. So, okay, the depth is definitely this direction. Okay, so that's not a problem. What we need to bring in then is the height. The area height to maybe 20. And what we can do, for example, is go in and say 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So 6 times 2.5 is 15. 15 plus, I don't know, a meter, 17 meters. 17 meters total. Area height 17. And the depth is not interesting to us right now. So, and now we could move it up by a few meters. We will forward, vertical, horizontal. So vertical offset should be 5. Okay, it went up. So how much do we need to offset? 2. Let us go for 2 meters. 2 meters. So 7. Ah, that's too much. So 6, so that we can see at the bottom what's going on. 6. That is much better. So now we could cut this out. The width should go a bit up, so we will go with a width of maybe 32. Oh man, people. Let us go with 34. Then we will go with a forward offset of 20. Okay, it brought that crazy far into the stone, so maybe just 10? Yes, much better. Are we in? Yes, okay, let us... Should we turn that on? We will bring that a bit back so that it can cut out the ceiling there. And the forward offset to 7. Now we will bring it back even more. This is something I have to get used to, I would say. So forward offset of 4 meters. Even more. Forward offset of 2. That should be enough, yes. No, I will go back to 0 and then go with a bit more area depth. So the next thing that we can see with that is if it cuts out the blocks. It shouldn't. Okay. Let's just turn it on. We will go a bit more back with a bit more area depth and go to 25. And now we just cut through this. I like it. This is kind of scary, but on the other hand, oh yes, this is great. See, that's what I meant by that. I don't know. it overcomes me sometimes. I think we have to cut it here. I'm just rambling on and doing, at the moment, not really necessary stuff, but I wanted to see that in action now. I have the feeling. Talked about that I don't have an immediate use for that, and then I have an immediate use for it. Good. I will let this work. It gives us also a bit more materials. That's a good thing. The rest hopefully then is just cutting into the stone by just moving the area forward. That should be relatively easy. I hope I have a bit of range on here. That's neat. Good people, I would say thanks for watching. Hope you liked this episode, although it was just a bit rambly and just very, very random. But yeah, hope you liked it. If you did, please leave a like on the video. Hope to see you in the next one, I would say. And don't know, if you're new here, subscribe. That's always neat and helps me out. The likes and all this stuff, blah 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 blah. I really have to get back into the YouTube thing. Good. This statue needs more work. Good people. Thanks for watching. Hope to see you in the next one. See ya, guys.